Imagine walking into a landscape that spans nearly 3.5 acres. This single green expanse is the size of 3 professional football fields. Inside the canopy, a massive ecosystem thrives. Hundreds of species of birds and small animals nest within the branches and forage along the floor, mirroring the diversity of any traditional forest. Despite its appearance, this entire 3-acre environment is one single living organism. Every trunk, branch, and leaf belongs to the Great Banyan of Kolkata. This tree predates the first steam engines in India. It was a mature plant long before tracks were laid for locomotives like this one. Over 2.5 centuries, it has stood through the height of the British Raj, 2 world wars, and several city-leveling cyclones. Usually, a structure of this age and scale requires a colossal central anchor to remain upright and keep the system unified. Biology suggests that a canopy this large needs a massive, centralized trunk. That core would be responsible for supporting the tree's physical weight and pumping water to its farthest extremities. But if you navigate to the geographic center of the Great Banyan, the expected massive trunk is completely missing. In the 1920s, a fungal infection attacked the tree's heart, threatening to consume the entire organism from the inside out. To stop the decay, botanists in 1925 chose a radical path. They completely amputated the 15-meter-wide central trunk to save the rest of the tree. For almost any other tree species, removing the primary load-bearing core is a death sentence. The Great Banyan did not collapse because it had already spent 2 centuries building a structural system that made its own center redundant. Most trees follow a vertical, single-pillar growth model. The banyan uses a radial strategy, expanding horizontally. As branches grow outward, they drop aerial roots that reach down, seeking soil far from the original seedling. Once anchored, these roots thicken and harden. They transform into individual load-bearing pillars that support the horizontal branches from below. By the time the central trunk was removed in 1925, the banyan had already established over 3,000 of these independent pillars. This outward growth shifted the tree from a system dependent on a single point of failure to a highly redundant, self-supporting grid. This cantilever system mirrors the Howrah Bridge. It distributes massive weight without a central pillar by pushing the load outward onto secondary supports. The banyan applies this biology. Its 3,000 pillars support a massive canopy by distributing weight across a decentralized grid. This network also decentralizes the tree's life support. Each root pillar draws water and nutrients directly from its own patch of soil. Because the load had already been offloaded to the perimeter, the removal of the original trunk had no impact on the tree's survival. The banyan's longevity proves that distributed networks are inherently more stable than centralized ones. You can still see this system in action at the Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose Indian Botanic Garden. Even without its original core, the organism is still expanding its 3.5-acre footprint today. We usually define strength by the presence of a single, thick, impenetrable core. The banyan offers a different model: resilience through connection. Its endurance is the result of thousands of smaller supports built over centuries. Every trunk in this area shares the same parentage, functioning as a singular family that has successfully mimicked the scale and complexity of an entire forest. After 250 years, the Great Banyan serves as a proof of concept. It demonstrates that long-term survival is achieved by distributing weight, decentralizing your foundation, and anchoring yourself in as many places as possible.